As I record this video, we are all certainly experiencing a very strange and difficult time at the moment. This virus that is going all around the world, and of course it's all over the news at the moment, is certainly affecting each and every one of us. At the very least, it's caused us to change how we live every day. It's affecting people's jobs, it's affecting children's education. And then, unfortunately, there are those who have been deeply affected by having the virus itself to varying degrees. So it really is quite a sad situation at the moment. It's even affecting our pets. We may not, for example, be able to walk our dogs as often as we would like to, and due to the travel restrictions that are in place, perhaps we can't take our dogs to our usual spots to walk them. So animals are also suffering too. However, it is very important to remain positive and stick to the rules and guidelines that we have been given, and to know that this is just a moment and that this moment will pass. Like most of us, I've been spending so much more time inside at the moment than I normally do. I've had to cancel a few workshops, I'm unable to go out and look for new photographs to capture, and unfortunately I'm unable to go out and create new outdoor content in the usual manner that I would do for my YouTube channel. But of course there are those who are far more worse off than I am, and I really do admire those people who are out on the front line in the fight against this virus. Being inside, it gives you so much time to think and reflect. And even though I've been keeping myself busy, I have been thinking and reflecting on things. And I really do feel that at this moment in time, in this current situation, that photography is more important now than it ever has been. As a photographer, I'm deeply connected with my own work and what it means to me. But I've been thinking a lot at the moment about how important it is for everyone to have photographs, be they photographers or not, that means something to them. Due to the restrictions that are in place, we're not able to go outside as freely as we normally can, so we can't go to the places that we love to visit and spend time in. Perhaps due to the travel restrictions as well, we're not able to physically see loved ones as much as normal. And this is where photography and the importance of having photographs comes in. I think it's really important at the moment that people have photographs that they can look at in their homes, which actually means something to them. It could be a photograph of your favorite place, it could be photographs of loved ones, it could be pets. It doesn't really matter as long as the photograph is something that's meaningful to you. And it gives you pleasure to look at, and it takes your mind off the current situation. It really doesn't matter if that photograph's been captured on a phone, or the latest Canon, Sony, or Fuji camera. It's the actual photograph itself that matters and what that photograph means to you. I personally have been finding solace in looking through my library of photographs that I've captured over the years. The majority of these show places that I love but unfortunately can't visit right now. So it's very special to be able to look at these photographs and to let them bring back happy memories. This excites me as I look forward to the time I will be able to visit these places again. And as a photographer, it also serves a second purpose. It's helpful for my own photography because I can study these images and maybe ask myself, would I like to take a specific scene again, but perhaps under different conditions or at a different time of year? What if maybe the light was coming from a different direction? Or would I change the composition in any way? So I find this to be a very useful exercise. I'm also discovering images that I want to re-edit, or indeed that I haven't even started editing at all. Another thing that I've been spending a lot of time doing at the moment is doing lots of printing. I really do love printing. I find it a very worthwhile exercise for my own photography, and I really enjoy the process of going through prints, trying to ensure that the end printed result matches as closely as possible to the original image on my computer screen. I'm not actually a fan of spending hours looking at computer screens, but in terms of looking through actual prints, physical prints in front of me, I could spend a lot of time doing that. Also, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll maybe know that I've spent time framing a few of my prints, which are now up on my walls. There is never anything better than having images you love up on your own walls, but at times such as these, I think the benefit is great. As I walk around the house, it's a nice distraction to stop for a few seconds and look at an image on the wall and have your mind transported there for a while and away from the current situation that I'm sure is weighing heavily on our minds. As I've been looking through my library of photographs, and I certainly haven't looked through the entire library yet, I've found a few in there that I'd almost forgotten about. And each of these photographs have a memory and a story behind them, and that's the real beauty of photography and the story behind the image. But there's one image which really stood out to me that I've found so far, and you'll have seen me print that image in this video, and it's actually this one just behind me here. I actually captured this image quite some time ago, and I'm not really sure why I've forgotten about it or why I haven't really done anything with it until this point, but I'd like to share with you now the story behind this actual image. I arrived at the water's edge on a very calm and still day, and I instantly felt at peace with my surroundings. I studied what lay in front of me and the potential composition I wanted to capture. After a few moments of enjoying the scenery, I took my camera out of my bag and began to position my tripod. I took my time and I enjoyed the process, and then finally, just as I was ready to press the shutter button, I noticed the smooth water beginning to be pleasantly disturbed by one or two light drops of rain. Their frequency increased, but never as much as to alter the calm moment. In fact, they only enhanced the sense of tranquility. I pressed the shutter button and stood looking at the scene, and I can remember thinking to myself, this scene now looks complete as the rain falls. And for that reason, I've decided to call this print As the Rain Falls. It's a print that I'm really pleased with. I like the photograph, but I think it works very well on a print as well. And I think it's important for a photograph to work well. It needs to appeal to people who view it. It isn't just a good print because it's got some special memory attached to the photographer who took it, but for me, it does have special memory, and standing back looking at it objectively as a print, I also think it works very well indeed. It's a very calming image for me, and there's also a sense of atmosphere about it as well. We've got a bit of atmosphere in the sky with its colour and the clouds, and we've got the atmosphere of the light raindrops falling into the water here. Due to the light rain, the colours have got a very nice appearance to them, as often happens in light rain, and I really like the flow and the subtle curves throughout the image. We've also got a little bit of the colour of the sky reflected in the mountains in the background, and I'm really pleased with the final print. It's come out just like my photograph appears on my monitor. And I'm so pleased with it. This one's going to be on display in my own home. And I've also added it to my website, my collection of limited edition prints which are for sale. Normally when I'm selling prints, not always, but mainly I offer them round about this size. But for this one, I'm offering it at this size and also a smaller A4 edition, just in case anyone would be interested in that. There's a limited number, of course, of both. They all come with a certificate of authenticity and some other little bits and pieces as well. So if you're interested in this image or any of my other images, due to the current situation, I'm offering a 30% discount on any print purchased through my website. And if you want to take advantage of that offer, then use the code SALE30 at the checkout stage. But yeah, I'm really pleased with this print, and this one will be on display in my home. I'm going to show a few more images in this video in just a moment. These are all images that I've been spending some time looking at over the last few weeks when I've been spending more time indoors. All of the images mean something to myself. I'm not going to talk about that in this video, but nonetheless, I really do hope you enjoy viewing them at this difficult time. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you been doing anything similar to myself recently? Have you been spending a lot of time browsing through your library of images? Have you discovered any that you'd forgotten about? And indeed, how do you prefer viewing your images? Are you happy to look at them on a monitor? Do you look at them on a tablet? Or, like me, is your preference, if at all possible, to look at them in print? So I'd love to hear about your own views on that in the comments section. But as I said earlier, I really don't know why I'd almost forgotten about this image. And the current situation is very sad, but I guess if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have this print in front of me now. So I really guess it was just something that was meant to be. And as I said, I've called this print As the Rain Falls. And I guess metaphorically speaking, the rain is falling on all of us at the moment due to this virus. But dark clouds do pass, rain does stop, and the sun will shine again.